This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from Thunder Bay Theater. I have Madison Dedman and Kevin Stoffel. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, Kevin, I know this is your second year back in Alpena. You were here last year. In
Yes,
fact,
yes.
1 year ago today, you opened up with Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
As Facebook tells me this morning. Yeah, so.
Love Facebook. I know what I'm doing all the time thanks to Facebook. And so now you're here in town now, and you're here for the Adams family.
Yes.
So tell me, what's your favorite type of role?
I think Gomez is actually one of my really favorite types of roles because he's just so kooky and so complex, and there's a lot of energy with the character, and then I think I'm a very energetic person, so being able to just give that light and give that energy out on stage, that's a really, really fun time for me.
And you have an education in theater.
Yes. I just graduated from Millikan University, which is in Decatur, Illinois, right in the center of the state. So I love my school. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And you, Madison, this is your first time in Alpena for a show.
Yes, absolutely.
And so tell me, what do you think so far?
I really love it. I love working with Jeffrey Mindock, our director.
Brown noser.
Yeah, no, but I'm actually learning a lot. So I went to school at Point Park University my first year in college, and I just transferred to CCM, University of Cincinnati. And so I'm still learning all the basics. So I did my freshman year and my freshman year again. And Jeffrey's pulling a lot of things out of me that I know that I'm capable of, but haven't been able to make tangible yet, which is really, really fun. And playing Wednesday is really. It's a complex role, like Kevin was saying about Gomez. There's so much to her. She's through this show, which is more of a farce of a show.
Okay.
She is not your archetype of Wednesday, of that cold and brooding and sad. She goes through this huge character arc, and it's a big challenge, that's for sure.
Well, that was going to be my next question, Kevin. Tell me how you're going to present Adam's Family on the theater and stage at Thunder Bay Theater.
Well, it's a lot different than the old school 60s TV show that people are familiar with the comic strips. It's a whole new original story, and it's an homage and a love letter to a lot of the old Adams. So it's you have all the classic characters, but it's in a new kind of situation because the whole storyline revolves around the fact that Wednesday's getting married. So it's a huge family divide, with Gomez, or he's this is his only daughter, and he's very conflicted between wanting her dreams and wanting to accept her new life, but he also just wants her to be his little girl that she always was. So it's very new and interesting family dynamic that they bring to the table.
Okay, so you kind of gave us a little bit of a hint about your role. Who are some of the other characters, and what will their roles be like?
We have Morticia, the
Okay.
mother, played by Erica Werner.
Okay.
We have Pugsley, the little brother,
Okay.
who's a local resident,
yes.
Logan
Denblaker.
Yes,
Okay.
he's a younger
Okay.
Alpenian.
Yay.
We have, I'm trying to think who else, other characters. Grandma, who is Emily Samuelson.
Yes.
Okay.
She has worked at Thunder Bay
Yes,
before.
Emily, Grandma, and Morticia were both here in the fall season. They performed in Grand Night for Singing and a lot of the shows in the
Okay.
fall season. There's a new set of new characters called the Beinecke's. That's Wednesday's
Okay.
love interest's family, and it's a mom, a dad, and a son. And the dad is played by Dylan Goike, who's another Alpena native. The mom is Kiko Laureano, who is wonderful. She's fantastic. And Lucas, Wednesday's love interest, is played by Caleb Richards. So it's a really, really a great eclectic group of people.
And I'm assuming it's a comedy.
Yes,
Oh, yes.
big time.
Big time comedy. So you have to try to figure out how to introduce this character to the Adams family
Right.
and try to make it a normal wedding without them finding out all the kookiness.
Of course.
I'm
that's
assuming.
that's me. I'm
Yes.
trying to cover all of the, hide this and be normal. There's a song called One Normal Night, and yeah, it's a fun
So that was
show.
my next question. What kind of songs are we going to hear?
Ooh, there's actually a big variety
There
of
is,
different
wow.
songs. We've got
One Kooky Night.
One Normal Night, and then we have I Sing Pulled, which is my big number about being conflicted. I was brought up this way, but this boy is taking me in a totally different direction, and we have.
There's like I said, there's a wide variety of styles. Fester has this nice little ballad that he sings in Act 2, which is really, really pretty. It's really soft and slow. Wednesday's Pulled is probably like the most iconic number from the musical that people would like recognize. I have like a slow ballad where I sing to Wednesday near the end of the show, but we have like lots of huge dance numbers. The end of Act 1 is this gigantic dance number where we're like dancing on a table, and there's just like a whole lot of stuff going on. So it's actually a very, very surprisingly heavy dance show too.
Which our chorus, our ancestors.
I'm surprised. Yes. So we have comedy, we have dancing, and we have music. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that?
It's gonna be a great time.
It's gonna be a hoot.
So now we'll get to the important stuff. When can we come to Thunder Bay Theater to see the Addams Family?
Okay, we have June 21st through July 9th.
Yes.
Okay. And obviously we need to let people know that musicals always sell out, so you need to call in advance, get your tickets, get your reservations, get a group of people, make reservations for dinner before or after, and just have a good time and come and see a wonderful theater.
Yep. Our box office is open Tuesday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can call Molly Stricker at 989-354-2267.
Yep.
So
that's one number I know.
Yep. And yeah, we're really excited to bring the show out to the community. Everyone's gonna find something that they love, like whether it's like a character that they really attach to, or like the music and the dancing. Like it's totally a family-friendly show for everybody.
Okay. So. And do you know what your next production is going to be?
Yes, West Side Story in concert.
Ooh, perfect. So you'll both be here for that production?
Yes. We'll be here for the whole summer.
So I don't know how you do it. You're rehearsing for that one and you're performing this one. I guess that's why they call you professionals, because I always thought I would get up on stage and say the wrong role for the wrong, the wrong part of the wrong show. Like,
the sets and the costumes help a little bit.
Oh, I bet they would. Okay. All right. And so one more time when we can come and see it.
June 21st
through July 9th.
Okay, and show times are?
7:30 in the evenings and 2 o'clock in the afternoons.
For the matinee.
Yes.
Okay, thank you both very much for being here.
Thanks
and
for
I look
having
forward to
us.
coming and seeing it. I'm really excited to hear about how wonderful and successful it's going to be.
Oh, thank you so much, Nancy.
Thank you. I'll be right back with Stephanie Gandula following these messages. Hi, welcome back. As promised, I'm with Stephanie Gandula from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello, Nancy.
It's been a long time since you've been on the show, and I'm really excited that you were able to come today.
Me too.
And you have such exciting news. You, the underachiever that you are,
Oh, boy.
you saw about people paddling paddleboards across Lake Michigan, and you thought, I wonder if we could bring them to Alpena, and you made it happen.
I can't even believe it, but it's been a couple of years now since I saw their exciting post that they had just traversed the 65 miles or so across Lake Michigan to raise money for Alliance for the Great Lakes, another great nonprofit working to protect the Great Lakes. And they were super successful at raising money and big crowds. And I, just like you said, I thought, well, gosh, we'd love to have them over on the east side and raising money for the Friends of Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. So launching here very shortly across Lake Huron, which is substantially wider at the spot that they're going. So they did 65 miles in Lake Michigan. It'll be almost 90 miles.
Wow.
So from Thunder Bay across to another beautiful protected area, Canada's Fathom 5 National Park. There to protect the amazing historic shipwrecks in Canadian waters in Lake Huron as well, just very similar to Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary.
And there's a GoFundMe page set up, so any donation would be appreciated. You know, I never talk politics, but we know there's some very serious issues regarding our funding, so more important now than ever that we get some additional funding in to provide some of those great education programs and those opportunities and the research and all the wonderful things that goes on at Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary.
Absolutely. I mean, one of our main focuses and our main goals is to get people, primarily students, but students of all ages really, out into the waters of Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary so they can experience it firsthand and really see and understand how important it is. And these gentlemen, 3 paddlers, I mean, admirable. I really can't even imagine. I mean, I've tried paddleboarding and I'm pretty lousy at it, but I mean, just to imagine more than 30 hours standing up on a paddleboard, and they're doing it to raise money for the Friends. So such a wonderful thing they're doing, and they've worked with lots of groups around the Great Lakes, and we're just honored that they've chosen the Friends of Thunder Bay to raise money for.
Now, if somebody doesn't feel comfortable with the GoFundMe page or something, can they drop a donation by the Heritage Center?
Absolutely, absolutely. come by the Great Lakes Maritime Heritage Center at 500 West Fletcher, so real close to downtown, right on the Thunder Bay River. Come and see the museum and drop off a donation for the stand-up for the Great Lakes. You can always go to their website, give them a call. They've got lots of options. But just a great opportunity. And I think it's going to be a new opportunity for us to really reach maybe some different audiences, some different niche markets. I mean, people are paying attention to this attempt all across the country because it's it's international because they're headed to Canadian waters. So it's really quite a big deal that's going to get the area some really good exposure.
Yay! And at this time of year, we have to talk about Maritime Festival.
Right.
Biggest, hugest event held in our city ever.
It's awesome. About 10,000 people come, if you can believe it, and just have a great time. We have some great music lined up this year. The Accidentals. I don't know if you've heard about them.
I saw it on Facebook.
Excellent, excellent. What would we do without Facebook? So yes, the Accidentals are a young Michigan band. They just graduated from high school. Before graduating, they've signed record deals. They've had music. Their original music in movies, and
amazing.
They're the band to watch, they say, and they have some great music, and they're going to be playing from 1 until 2:30 during Maritime Festival. Right after that, we head into the infamous cardboard boat regatta, where we get to see the action of people building their boats, and then generally I think most of them end up in the river. But it is so much fun to watch. And then the usual exciting things happening, the kids activities, the Heritage Center to, if you want to cool off a little bit, I imagine it'll be another hot day. And also go out on the glass bottom boat. There's cruises all day long, and then also the fireworks cruise at night.
Yes, and then there's lots of food vendors.
Lots of food. My favorite, I don't know if I should say that, but my favorite is I always count on getting a whitefish sandwich and the Nowicki's sausages, and so lots of great food vendors. So right after the parade, it's a great place to come, do your kids' activities, watch the race, watch the music, get some food, and it's really a perfect 4th of July.
And most of the events are free.
Yeah, most of the events are free. I mean, the glass bottom boat, of course, is ticketed. Helicopter rides are ticketed, and I can't believe how popular those helicopter rides have been. I mean, they come and people are lined up all day long, and it's really a treat because you get to go out over Thunder Bay, and if the weather's good, which it generally is on 4th of July, and the water's calm, you can see the shipwrecks from the helicopter.
I did a helicopter ride once over Thunder Bay River, and you could see the fish swimming in the river. It was phenomenal.
That's pretty good. I haven't seen fish. I'll watch for that this year.
Oh, so wonderful. And we just want to let people know this is your way of celebrating our community and your collaborations and your partnerships with everyone. So people, please come down, and we need volunteers.
We absolutely need volunteers. In fact, this is probably our hardest event to get volunteers because understandably people are out at the cottage or whatever, family time, people are coming in to visit, and putting on an event like this with all the different activities and logistics and everything does require a lot of volunteers, and there's still opportunities to volunteer. Shoot me an email at steph.gondula@noaa.gov, and I'd love to get you signed up to volunteer. You could even volunteer for an hour or a couple hours. It doesn't have to be the entire day. And the volunteers definitely make it happen, and of course our sponsors make it happen. Lappin Agency is the title sponsor for the Maritime Festival, and we have many other sponsors. I don't want to start listing them because I don't want to forget, but we do have it listed on the Friends website and on the Maritime Festival promotional materials. So, I mean, we couldn't do it. We'd love to put this on, but we couldn't do it without the support of the community as well.
We have about 2 minutes to talk about summer camps.
Summer camps. I'm glad we've got the time because this is the first summer we're offering so many different summer day camps. We have, I think it's 16 different day camps. Now, they're a little shorter than they were in years past, so they're some of them are just 1 full day. Some are 2 half days for those younger students that maybe a half day is enough to be away from their families. But they range in topics from be a shipwreck detective to ocean exploration to, of course, Shark Days, which is always a hit. That one might be full. Mini Maritimers is a really popular one. That is for kids 5 to 6 years old. So, and it's 2 half days. I think that's June 26th and 27th. And that one, there's still some room in, but that's a great way to, really introduce the Marine Sanctuary to the little ones. They have to have completed kindergarten. And lots of fun crafts and educational activities. So it's not just, crazy, having fun, a lot of that.
Okay.
But still, it's a learning day camps. The students will come home, the kids will come home having learned a lot about our maritime history.
Okay, well, thank you. We're out of time.
Okay.
Best way for someone to reach you is steph.gandula.
At NOAA.gov, NOAA.gov. One last thing, if I may sneak it in.
Yes, hurry.
The camps are very affordable. Some are, $25, but there's also scholarships available
okay.
for the camps through the Friends of Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. So really no reason to not sign up your little ones for camps.
Okay, thank you. Please stay tuned for Dr. Don McMaster following these messages.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster, president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Dawn Stone, director of the TAC grant at ACC.
Hi, Don. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So, Dawn, you and your team are leading a really exciting development at the college. We've talked about it before, but I'd like to, and this is the drone work. Could you bring the viewers up to speed on where you are?
I'd be happy to. So I think the last time I was on, we talked about the fact that we were running some unmanned aerial system pilot prep courses for our utility technology technician students. And the purpose behind kind of a focus on the electrical industry is because the electrical industry in general has really embraced the use of unmanned aerial systems in inspection, and it's really a lot safer than sending a worker out to storm ravaged areas or up on up poles that no one's real sure exactly what the problem is yet. So it makes sense to use them. So we ran 2 courses this spring semester. They're non-credit courses to prepare a group of utility technology technician students to graduate from ACC with their lineman certificate as well as their drone pilot's license. So that was super cool. Well, as we're working through that, we came upon a conference, and it was a conference held in Chicago, and it was all utility industry, electrical utility industry folks who were looking at embracing unmanned aerial systems in their own organizations. So there were all sorts of different types of representatives there. But what was interesting is there was only one educational institution represented, and that was us.
All right.
So yeah. So Brian Dawson went. He's our lead instructor for UAS, and he met some wonderful people, some very, very smart people. And he was approached by one gentleman who asked if he could send some linemen to Alpena to learn how to pass the test and how to fly drones as electrical workers. So through the process of discussion with him and what they needed, and really drawing upon the knowledge that Brian gained while he was in Chicago, we came up with a 3-day course for utility industry line workers. So these are like employer-based trainings or non-credit offerings for folks who are in the industry. So basically, we are going to have a group of 12 utility linemen from California come out the end of July, and they're going to learn. They're going to spend 2 days in the classroom and really dig into the material that's on the FAA exam. And the reason it takes so many hours, because it's close to 20 hours of education for the FAA exam, because most of it is just like a pilot ground school, a manned pilot.
Right.
So it's not information that's very intuitive to most of us who aren't pilots, who've not flown in a cockpit before. So they'll spend 16 to 20 hours in the classroom, and then the last day they'll spend flying. So we've got 5 DJI Phantoms, and we have 3 instructors who are also pilots, and we'll be training them how to use the drones and how to use them in their industry. So we've created a connection with Alpena Power Company, and we're going to actually use some lines, some live lines, to be able to plan missions, fly missions, and then produce data that allows them to see why and how they would use the drone at work. So the cool thing, the result of this is that rather than spending $500 an hour or whatever a helicopter would be to inspect lines, they can put you know, a $600 drone or a $10,000 drone. Either way, you're still, you know, coming out on the good end in their truck, and have their line workers be able to use those as a tool. And that's really been the focus of everything we've done with the unmanned aerial systems, is treating them as they are, and they're a tool. It's not really a job that most folks would. You don't just become necessarily an unmanned aerial system pilot. You use your drone in your industry of choice. So that is one super exciting thing that's coming up.
That's amazing.
It is.
So you got a group of a dozen
We do.
electrical workers
Yes.
coming from California
Yes.
for 3 days to ACC
Yes.
to get training that they can't get anywhere in between here in California.
Exactly.
Apparently.
Exactly.
Wonderful. What
Right.
an accomplishment there.
Yeah, and so I've worked with Mary Beth Stutzman a little bit, and so we're gonna make sure that while they're here, they have the best time of their lives, because we all know living here that Alpena is a destination, but not everyone knows that. So that's also our intent, is to train folks, give them high quality training, send them back to work in California with the best skills that they possibly can have, but also show them our community. And our community is very special and very valuable. So we're going to try and embrace all of that for these guys.
That's great stuff. So these workers are IBEW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
They are.
Which there's locals all around the country.
All around the country.
So the opportunity for us would be to become a training provider of choice for IBEW locals nationwide.
Exactly. And we are we're going to reach out this next week to some of the closer locals, the more local locals, and see if they're interested, because we do have another window before school starts, before the fall semester starts, to be able to run another one. And we've kept our price point real low. Our quality of training is unsurpassed and potentially almost non-existent elsewhere with this focus. There are other people who are doing training and doing, preparing people for the FAA exam, but not with this focus. So, Brian's done so much research and done so much application within the electrical industry that I think it's a really special thing that we have here in Alpena.
I think so too, and the linkage or alignment of the training to the utility sector and our work in the utility sector, and that's just a great partnership and alignment that a lot of other places don't have, and it's very sharp of you and your team to guide the the evolution of what we're trying to do toward that, the application side, not just the kind of fun faddish things.
Right. There's so much more than just a toy. And I think when people first started hearing about drones and understanding that more people were using them, the impression was that it was just to be used for entertainment purposes, and certainly can be. But in this capacity, it just has so much value, so much safety value for the industry.
Thank you very much. It's a great story,
welcome.
Remarkable.
Thanks.
And thank you for what you do for Alpena Community College. And thank you, folks, for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you again next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts, Nancy Smitham and Don McMaster. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on the community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.
The Talk of the Town furniture and set design are provided by Young Appliance Art Van Furniture on US 23 South in Alpena.